Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. I contemplated whether to make this video or not because I thought it'd only be a couple of minutes. Is it even worth making this video? But it is. It is, because Cade Cunningham is going to be a Detroit Piston. I don't normally make these types of videos going off an Instagram post in which I saw Cade Cunningham at a Detroit Tigers game, in which he posted on his story also saying he was at the Detroit Tigers game, in which I saw them chanting, "We want Cade," at a Detroit Tigers game, and I'm pretty sure they won, what, 14-0 or something ridiculous. I haven't really been keeping up. I don't watch baseball. I'm going to be completely honest, but I'm sure you guys would know and can let me know. But those are things that I think just solidify any doubts that we had over whether Cade Cunningham would be a Piston. The fact that he's turning up to a game, I mean, it just solidifies it, does it not? I think it does, and I think it's fair to say that Cade Cunningham will be a Detroit Piston. And as I said, this video won't be too long. I don't think it needs to be too long because we can talk about this at a later date when we get some more news, when he's finally drafted and when he puts on the cap. We can do some more things about Cade Cunningham, but just right now, just a little bit of reflection. Just a little bit of reflection. Think back to last year. Just think back to last year for a second and think what we were working with. I've talked about this a lot, but what was it? Brandon Knight, John Henson, Thon Maker, Tony Snell, Christian Wood, and Sekou Doumbouya were like the only two bright lights in what was just a rough end to the season, in which you're watching Tim Frazier. Like, these guys, it seems like it was a decade ago these guys were playing. It seems like it was genuinely a decade ago, and it's even hard to remember who was on that team last year, even though I was watching the games, and I'm sure you guys were as well. It's hard to remember because it was very forgettable, although it was kind of memorable because it was bad. It was bad. We'll just keep it at that. It was bad, and now you fast forward to a year later, and all of a sudden, oh, Jeremy Grant, oh, you overpaid for him. Oh, now you want to give up 3 first-round picks for him? You're not getting him. You want to give up 3 first-round picks? Oh, he'd be perfect for the Boston Celtics. Oh, he'd be perfect for the Washington Wizards. Oh, he'd be perfect for the Detroit Pistons. He'd be perfect for the Detroit Pistons. He's contracted. He wants to be in Detroit. Oh, he's still in the age bracket where he can contend with his team over the next few years once they develop and reach their potential. Oh, maybe he should stay in Detroit. Yeah, that's a thought. That's a thought. He's playing for Team USA. That's a thought. Maybe they won't give him up for a couple of mid-first round picks that no one really wants, even though those mid-first round picks turn out to be Saddiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart, if your name is Troy Weaver, who has turned this franchise around from John Henson, Tim Frazier, Svi Mikhailuk, to Saddiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, and, well, who did I miss? I'm not sure if I missed anyone. Anyways, that's the starting 5. Not to mention he's also managed to find some gems, the likes of Frank Jackson, Josh Jackson, Hamidou Diallo, guys of that nature. I don't know who is my priority to stay. I think it'd be Frank Jackson. I just like what he brings. I think his shooting, his defense, and just his role is suited to this kind of team. I don't know if the other guys fit as well, but we can talk about that at a later date. But he's managed to do that. Troy Weaver, Dwayne Casey, everyone deserves a lot of credit, but just appreciate it right now, because Cade Cunningham, who is seen as one of the better prospects in a very long time, someone who could come in and immediately give you 26 and 5, at least from what I'm hearing and from what I've seen in terms of highlights and a couple of full games. I always say I'm not a draft expert, but I've seen enough to suggest he's a pretty good player. And I've seen enough from this team to suggest the pieces are perfectly built around him. I don't just say that as hyperbole. I think the pieces are genuinely right there for him to succeed, with the shooting, with the defense, with the versatility that you have at literally every single position. It's just made to be a good team. I think this team was already solid. It was already better than their record suggested because they lost so many close games and they also rested so many key players towards the end of the season. This isn't going to be a team that's going to be right at the bottom of the league. This is going to be a team competing for the play-in from day one. But we're not going to talk about that. As I said, we'll talk about that at a later date. Just for now, Cade Cunningham will be a Detroit Piston. You've heard it here first.